Today we're gonna find out how super the Superlock truly is and discover how easy it really is to get it to hop that locking mechanism. Oh no! On this monster of a folder in the Snex designed Buster by Civivi. What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to another blade review here at the channel. If you're new, I'm Aaron. This is Gideonstactical, and oh my gosh, are we gonna have some fun? Because we're not only gonna see what capabilities and limitations are in the Snex designed, open sourced Superlock, but also just this profile, because I am stoked on the size. I am so glad that big knives are coming back into popularity more and more. This blade over 4 inches, the weight over 6 ounces. So regardless of what we discover with the Superlock, this is a big bruiser, and I love the name Buster, of a design. For those of you who are chefs or know a chef, this might be an ideal blade shape and profile. So let's go ahead, dive on in. One of my favorite things. Big broad blades are gonna allow you to do that, but then still get right through different pieces of cardboard. Even though this is a pretty thick blade, I believe it's 0.16 at the main stock thickness. It tapers, means that you can carve and slash right through. And sheep's foots are one of my favorites for draw cuts like this. If you're cutting through, feels like an X-Acto knife when you're doing that. You just guide the blade. Now, if you're a chef or you have friends who are chefs, look at that. I mean, it just glides. Oh my gosh, love it. Ooh, baby. Nice and thin. Excellent food prep knife. Here on this cutie, oh yeah. That's just literally a draw cut, no pressure. Let's do another one here. Oh my gosh. Delicious. Now, because the blade is 4¼ inches from handle to tip, cutting edge is 4 inches even. That means you're getting massive spanning power. You're gonna be able to span very broad, say pool noodles or whatever, very easily, or just giving you overall more blade geometry for longer cuts before you skip out on, say, a piece of cardboard or whatever it may be. And then on top of that, we have a 1¼ inch overall, actually like 1.3 high blade, and the flat grind goes all the way up to about 1 1/8 before you hit that last transitional point there. Really well designed blade geometry for slicing. But this is really where, look at that. I mean, it's like a cinnamon roll on that yoga mat. Mrs. GT's not gonna be happy with me for destroying her yoga mat. Now, as we're discovering, very capable in slicing maneuvers, and the steel backs that up. Nitro V, Civivi has been using it for a long time. They really have it dialed in. 58 to 60 HRC. It's rust resistant, relatively easy to resharpen, but it's going to hold its edge a lot better than old school steels like AUS 8 and HCR 13 MOV. So great kind of mid-grade stainless steel choice, and they really have that dialed in. So overall, the kind of Nordic Saxon style blade I really connect with, and it is absolutely performing beyond my expectations, and I'm really pleased about that. But what about the handle ergonomics? Because there's a lot going on here. Now, for such a large blade, we have stainless steel liners that have some cutouts. This version is green micarta. You can get different color combinations, and G10 as a material. I have large size hands, 3¼ knuckle span. You can see how much real estate I got on the back end there. Great for a non-lethal, but so much more. Now, the first thing to note is that we have this kind of unsharpened, or it's not really a choil, but you can definitely use it as such. And when I was bearing down on that, holding it like this, here's what I experienced with the ergonomics. But before we get into that, we all know the importance of having the right apparel on our adventures. And what better material for our apparel than wool? And that's where today's sponsor comes into play, which is Huckberry and their Proof series of 72-hour merino wool clothing. Now, I just happened to be on a 72-hour backpacking trip with my sons and my buddy and his son, father-son time, having a blast. And I've been using these pieces of apparel for over a year now, including the sun hoodie. This thing is amazing, breathable, great, even when the sun's blasting down on you at the lake and you're fishing, covering up those more exposed parts, but also helping you stay warm at night as your base layer. The best part is these are not, like 10% wool just so that they can say that. I mean, these are sourced from New Zealand and Australia, and these are over 80% wool blend. I mean, that is epic. So they work, they keep the heat in when you need to, and they breathe when they're supposed to. And then finally, to top it all off, their 72-hour wool blend pants. These come in at about 47% wool. These Proof pants are epic for bushwhacking like that. Very flexible, but more durable than that just sticky, unbreathable nylon, or polyester that we often get in most of, the hiking, trekking apparel that's out there. This just takes it to such a better level that I'm convinced in wool blend trekking pants now. So guys, there's so much to choose from. I'm gonna have a link popping up over to the Huckberry site as well as in the description box below, along with my exclusive 10% off promo code you can apply towards your first purchase. I invite you to check them out, explore all the different types of apparel and what might make sense for you on all of your adventures. Let's just see. Oh, okay. Yeah. And when I do a feather stick, this is a great way for me to tell also on ergonomics. Yeah, not bad. The wood's not awesome. There we go. There's some curls. Epic control. I don't have to. I can come back here and do a hammer grip. What happens? That would be the preferred grip, but let's just see here. Okay, that is not fun. That is not fun. Bearing down like that, that's creating a massive hot spot right there when I'm doing that. Cutting through wood, hard pressure on the spine on that particular one. Get that there though, all day. So with bearing down, it creates a hot spot, but it's not the Superlock. You may think spine locks like this from, say, like the Shark Lock from Demco and maybe the Atlas Lock from Cold Steel, that would be the hot point. It's actually not, because that goes right into the webbing of the meat of my hand and I don't even feel it. It's on this particular model, and as soon as I saw it, I was like, why did they design it this way? And it has to do with this crowned spine right here. You can see there, that is thin metal that the handle scale does not encapsulate. I don't know why they did it. I think it's just a styling thing, and it doesn't help the ergonomics. That is where all the pressure from my hand is going down when I am bearing down on something, and so it is basically putting pressure on two very thin pieces of metal. If they had just made it flush all the way to the Superlock, then it would have been much more ergonomic on the bearing down. Now again, just going, if you put your thumb right here, that alleviates a lot of the pressure. So that's how I would do it if I was making feather sticks, but just like standard hammer grip. And if you're going through cardboard and food, you're not really gonna notice it. It's when you're going through heavy duty material like rubber, heavy duty rope, carving, that type of stuff, that you will notice definitely a hot spot, unless you either do the choil or you back up and put your thumb right there. The rest of the cutouts, super cool. They could have left everything else for styling purposes. I mean, I really like it. It's very like cyberpunk-esque. Definitely would fit in like a Blade Runner video or movie. So that aspect, I have no issues. Pocket clip, boring. I mean, it's a Civivi pocket clip. They need to update that. Recessed screws, at least. Ambidextrous, so that's good. Blacked out, but it's kind of got a flare, and it definitely like pivots. I'd like to see some sort of update at some point. It's just boring. It gets the job done, but that's just a data point there. It is running on ceramic ball bearings housed in caged bronze, bronze housing, so ultra smooth. I mean, it's just going to fall and fly. You don't even have to touch the thumb studs. You have great thumb studs. They are out of the way of the grind, which is great. Very smart thinking, instead of being really forward and then causing issues with resharpening and slicing. So that is great. Very fidget friendly. Now, what about this Superlock? Spine thwacking, what caused it to jump? Angle, the geometry is good, and I will say I kind of prefer the geometry over the Shark Lock. The Shark Lock is not bad, but it's a little bit more pointy. This one, a little bit more rounded. I appreciate that. Makes the action a little bit easier to engage with your fingers. It's not going to create like a little bit of rub and wear. So you just literally pull back on that. I like how they give you a cutout so you see the mechanism working. And so it's just, I mean, it's not that like, not revolutionary because it is super cool, but you know, like it's pretty simple. It's just like boom, clicks in, the tension screw back here pushes all that in. Look at how big that stop bar is right there. So, and again, we have to remember this. It's good to spine thwack and know what's going on, but where are you putting all your pressure? How is this most likely going to collapse on you? And you don't want it to like come this way. Obviously you don't want to guillotine your fingers, but you want that durability on the back motion, and it absolutely has that, and it is very, very solid. I'm not having any play, even after all the spine thwacking. I probably did like 30 spine thwacks over and over again on this knife to like see what its capabilities were. It's still rock solid, hasn't caught, like loosened up or had problems in that regard. So all of that is good. What I discovered was when I spine thwack about right here, it's solid and rarely, if ever, hops. It's when we start getting out here to the tip that I believe it's just literally the weight of the blade and the inertia is far enough away from the mechanism that it's just enough shock to make it slip the locking mechanism in there, and hopefully you guys are gonna be able to see it. There you go. And then boom, that thing flicks closed. So it is a data point. When I did spine thwacking with the smaller version, I couldn't really get it. I think I got it to hop one time, and I was like muscling it to try and swing it, and I think it's literally because the distance from the Superlock on the Vision to the tip is shorter, the blade is lighter, and it just doesn't have enough inertia to hop, or this way, hop the Superlock. So that, along with the Demco, I don't even think I could get it to do it on the Shark Lock here. And then I did a few other blades. I did like the SOG, what is that, Seal XR, with their XR lock. I couldn't even get that thing to hop. Again, I think it's literally distance, where you hit it, and inertia. So leave a comment. I want to know if that's disconcerting to you or something that you're like, dude, it doesn't even matter to me. And if I flip it over and just press as hard as I can, it is rock solid. So just data that I'm sharing with you. You guys make the determination. Leave comments below. I'd love to know your guys' thoughts. As we run into some competitive options and pricing, Civivi did send this over to me. I do appreciate them doing that. They did not pay or sponsor the video in any way, shape, or form. This is about $100. $100, I think that's a great value. If you like everything that you're seeing in the form and function, it's a little bit more expensive than the Vision. I will be honest, between the two, I prefer the style of this. I'd love to see like a mini version for those of you who want more of a Vision size. And man, bring that micarta and the scales up flush. That would revolutionize the ergonomics, I think, for most of us. But this is a very viable option. So guys, that is the Buster from Civivi. Look forward to hearing your thoughts, comments. Appreciate you hanging. Again, invite you to hop on over, become part of the GT crew over on Patreon, and get entered in a win July's video giveaways. I'm going to be sick over there. Yeah, until next time, always remember, stay equipped, stay prepared. I'll see you out there.